No one noticed her at first. That was the problem. On the far edge of the training compound, while boots thundered and instructors barked orders, she moved quietly, checking gear twice, adjusting straps, watching everything. Her name wasn't spoken with respect. It wasn't spoken much at all. To most of them, she was just another candidate, and to some, she was already a failure. The place where legends break. The facility was designed to crush people. SEAL training wasn't about strength alone. It was about breaking certainty, about stripping candidates down until ego, pride, and fear were all that remained. Only then did the instructors decide who deserved to stay. Mud clung to uniforms. Salt stung open skin. Sleep was a rumor. And standing among the candidates was Commander Elena Cross, though no one there used that title. Not yet. To the instructors, she was Cross. To the louder candidates, she was dead weight. To the evaluators watching from above, she was an anomaly. She didn't complain. She didn't argue. She didn't explain. She endured. The whispers. By the third week, the whispers started. She won't last. She's too quiet. She doesn't belong here. One instructor said it openly during a drill, not even trying to hide the dismissal. She's not cut for command, he muttered. At best, support. At worst, washout. Cross heard it. She always heard everything. But she kept moving. What they couldn't see. What no one there knew, what no file in the open system revealed, was that Cross had already served where most of them never would. She had commanded joint operations that never made the news. She had coordinated assets across continents. She had walked out of rooms where generals stayed silent. But none of that mattered here. Here, rank didn't exist. Only performance. And she let them underestimate her. The training day that changed everything. That morning began like every other, before dawn, with cold air biting through soaked uniforms. The candidates were lined up for a high-stress tactical evolution, live coordination, simulated casualties, command rotation under pressure. This was where people cracked. This was where Cross was placed at the back of the formation. An instructor smirked. Let's see if she even keeps up. The drill began. Chaos followed. Silent control. When the scenario collapsed, when two candidates froze and another shouted conflicting commands, Cross didn't raise her voice. She stepped forward. She issued 3 short orders. Clear, correct, final. The confusion stopped. The team moved. And for the first time, an instructor paused, not impressed, but curious. "Who told you to take charge?" he snapped. "No one," Cross replied evenly. "Command was failing." The instructor stared at her. Then he turned away. "Noted," he said coldly. The label. That night, her evaluation summary changed, not to praise, to warning. Subject demonstrates unauthorized leadership tendencies. Unauthorized. That word followed her into the next phase. Some candidates avoided her. Others resented her. And one instructor made his opinion clear. She thinks she's more than she is. Training will fix that. The moment before history. What none of them knew was that far beyond the compound, inside a secure communications room, her name had just appeared on a priority screen. A red indicator flashed. The operator blinked, then stood. "Sir," he said carefully, "we have a confirmed line request." "From who?" the duty officer asked. The operator swallowed. "From the President of the United States."
The call didn't come through loudly. There were no sirens, no alarms,
just a quiet shift in posture. At the command building overlooking the training compound, senior officers straightened as a red secure line lit the room. No one spoke until the connection was confirmed. "This line is authenticated," the operator said. "The president is on." The room froze. A name that shouldn't be here. The president didn't waste time. "I'm calling about Commander Elena Cross." A pause. The base commander exchanged a glance with the training director. "Sir," he replied carefully, "Commander Cross is currently enrolled as a candidate." Another pause, this one longer. "She is not a candidate," the president said calmly. "She is a SEAL commander assigned to Army Special Operations Command under joint authority." Silence. Then, "She volunteered for this evaluation." The shock settled in. The training director leaned forward. "Sir, with respect, she's been treated as expendable," the president finished. Yes, that was the point. The room absorbed that. "She requested this placement without disclosure of rank because she needed to see something." "What exactly, sir?" the base commander asked. "How leaders behave when they think no one important is watching." Why she was there. The president's voice lowered. "There are command failures developing across multiple units, not tactical, cultural, leadership decay." The training compound below suddenly felt very small. "Commander Cross has spent her career fixing broken commands. She doesn't arrive with announcements, she arrives quietly." The line went silent for a beat, and "she reports directly to me." Back on the field. Unaware of any of this, Cross was running drills again. Her shoulders burned, her legs trembled, mud streaked her face. An instructor barked at her for being half a step slow. She acknowledged without emotion. She wasn't there to prove strength. She was there to observe character. The order. Back in the command building, the president issued a single directive. "Do not remove her from training." The officers exchanged looks. "Continue evaluating her, exactly as you have been." A breath. "But from this moment forward, you will document everything. Every comment, every dismissal, every failure in leadership." "Yes, sir," the commander replied. "And one more thing," the president added. "When she decides the test is complete, you will listen." The line went dead. The shift. The atmosphere on base changed instantly. Not visibly, but subtly. Instructors watched Cross differently, less mocking, more cautious. She noticed. She always did. But she said nothing. The breaking point approaches. During a night evolution, a simulated casualty was mishandled. Confusion spread. Orders overlapped. Cross stepped in again, briefly, decisively. This time, no one stopped her. After the drill, an instructor pulled another aside. "She's not acting like a trainee," he whispered. "She's acting like she's already commanded this place." The other instructor nodded slowly. "She has." The question no one asked. No one dared ask her who she really was, because part of them already knew, and part of them was afraid of the answer. The breaking point came without warning. It always does. By the 5th week, exhaustion had erased personalities. Candidates moved like machines. Instructors pushed harder, sensing collapse. And Commander Elena Cross was placed in charge. Not officially, unofficially. The test no one planned. The evolution was supposed to be routine, a multi-team night operation with rotating command. But halfway through, systems failed, communications glitched, a simulated enemy force overwhelmed the plan. Confusion spread fast. 2 team leads argued, orders overlapped, time bled away. Someone had to take control. Cross stepped forward. The moment of command. Her voice cut through the noise, not loud, but absolute. "Team Alpha, collapse left. Bravo, establish overwatch. Medic, stabilize and hold." No hesitation, no wasted words. Everyone moved. Because instinct recognized authority before rank ever could. The operation stabilized in minutes. Observers exchanged looks. This wasn't training behavior. This was command under fire.
the challenge. An instructor stepped into her path as the evolution ended. "Who authorized you to take command?" he demanded. Cross met his stare. "The mission required it. That wasn't your call." "It was," she said calmly, "because no one else was making it." Silence followed. Dangerous silence. The unavoidable reveal. The commander arrived within minutes. "Commander Cross," he said, carefully neutral. "My office, now." Inside the command building, doors sealed, screens activated. "You're not on the candidate list," he said slowly. "Not anymore." She nodded once. "You were never supposed to lead this openly," he continued, "but you just did." She remained still. "You want to explain?" She exhaled. "I'm here because you're training leaders, and leadership failing when no one important is watching." The commander leaned back. "That line," he said quietly, "came from the president." A secure screen lit up, the same red indicator. The president appeared, calm, composed. "Commander Cross, you've seen enough?" "Yes, sir." The commander stood instantly. Instructors froze. Cross remained at attention. "Then it's time," the president said. "Time for what?" the commander asked. "For her to stop pretending." The title spoken aloud. The president looked directly into the room. "This is Commander Elena Cross, SEAL Commander attached to Army Special Operations, operating under direct executive authority." No one breathed. "She outranks every officer in this building except me." The weight of that landed hard. The room changes. Instructors who had dismissed her now avoided her eyes. Comments replayed in their minds. Worthless, dead weight, washout. Cross didn't react. She never had. The order. "Commander Cross, you have full authority to proceed." She nodded. "I do." She turned to the officers. "Training continues, but standards change now." The base didn't erupt into chaos. It fell into silence. Not the kind caused by fear, but the kind born from realization. Commander Elena Cross stood in the center of the command room, still in a mud-stained uniform, still breathing like any exhausted trainee. But nothing about her was small anymore. The illusion was gone. The shift of power. Instructors who once barked orders now waited. Not because they were told to, because authority had finally revealed itself. Cross didn't raise her voice. "Training resumes in 10 minutes, she said calmly. "Every cadre member will submit performance reports on themselves." The room stiffened. This evaluation isn't about physical endurance. It's about how you treat people when you think they have no power. No one argued. The consequences. Over the next hours, findings emerged. Patterns of dismissal, unchecked ego, leadership masked as aggression. Cross reviewed everything quietly. No speeches, no humiliation, just decisions. 2 instructors were removed from command. 1 was reassigned permanently. Standards were rewritten. Not softer, clearer. The moment of understanding. Late that night, one instructor approached her outside the barracks. "I misjudged you," he said. "Yes," Cross replied, "you did." He hesitated. "Why didn't you say who you were?" She looked toward the training grounds. "Because respect that depends on rank isn't respect, it's fear." He nodded slowly. The president's final word. The secure line rang once more. "You did exactly what we needed," the president said. "The command culture was exposed and repaired because of you." She paused. "It was repaired because the truth was allowed to surface." The final day. On the last morning, candidates lined up. This time, they stood straighter, not because Cross was watching, because they had learned something. Cross addressed them briefly. "Leadership isn't loud, it's consistent, and it shows up when things go wrong." Then she stepped back, not as a trainee, not as a secret, but as a commander. The salute. As she walked toward the gate, the base commander stepped forward. He saluted first, then the instructors, then the candidates. Cross returned the salute, once, precisely. The legacy. Her vehicle disappeared beyond the compound. Training continued, but the phrase worthless was never spoken again, because everyone there learned the same lesson. The most dangerous leaders are the ones you underestimate, and sometimes the president is already watching.